These are the trial and error sort of questions I need to go, through to get to a point where I'm like happy with my art. Like in order to, figure out what I like and what I don't like, I have to make the mistakes of doing the things that I don't like to discover that I don't like them. So it's definitely an anxiety-inducing process because, it requires the possibility of failure, making art, which is not a comfortable feeling. But I'm reading The Artist's Way right now, and so I'm trying to push through that. Okay, I got ready and I got my cozy gear because it's gonna be cold today, a little chilly. I have this hat that my mom knitted me. I'm wearing my cute new earrings that I got from Target. Put on a little bit of makeup. The goods. I took a really long time to pack my bag and decide what art supplies I'm bringing. I'm gonna be at the zoo by 12:30. My small Royal Talons art creations sketchbook. Damn, now my car is loud. I guess I'll just have to suffer, whatever. Okay. Bringing the tiny one. I've been actually using this one a decent amount. Doing some fun stuff in here. Oh, this is really exciting. I'm gonna go to the art store before I go to the zoo. I brought my little art cups. This is like double-sided, like super sticky tape, and I really wanted to bring this pan gouache that I found at the art store recently. And so what I ended up doing is I used my Stay Wet sponge and some paper, and then I used this tape to glue my gouache pans in, and I'm gonna go and get like 2 more colors. This is just a vintage pan that I found at an antique store, and I think it's really pretty, so I'm gonna bring that. I've got a bag full of Pitt artist pens because I recently bought some and I'm obsessed. I absolutely love them. I've got a lot of muted colors, and I just got some brighter ones recently, and there's also just some like other ink pens. And then lastly, I've got my Big Mama, what is this? I don't even know. It says Design for Arrangement. I forget what brand it is. I want to say Lehit Labs. I might be wrong though. Okay, so I've got a crap ton of color pencils. My favorite brands are Polychromos and Prismacolor is a close second. I've got my Blackwing sharpener, some pencils and pens, a little ruler. This is a lead holder with super soft lead that I love. Ouija pens, necessary. This is a little watercolor palette that I made out of a tea tin. Oh gosh. So it's got some little palette paper that I cut up in there right now, but this is just cheap Shinhan watercolor. I bought this like my freshman year of college for a project and just never finished it. So this is a brush that I got from Blick. So you take it out and then it's a Raphael. No, it's a Skoda. No. Raphael, yeah. I'm not going to take it out because it's hard to put back in when it's wet, but I might use that today. I've got an eraser, some soft lead. These are the water-soluble, what are they called? Caran d'Ache Neo Pastels, and then 2 brushes and my water brush, which is just how I decided I'm going to carry my water today because nobody really has time for all that other stuff. So that's what I brought. And now I'm going to go get coffee and get some more gouache pans and then head to the zoo. This is why I'm not an influencer. I really hope I can make some good art today. Those are my intentions. I think main intention is to draw some cute pictures of animals. To draw some animals. I would say, yeah, to draw some animals and to draw some trees that I actually like the texture of. And that actually look like a, you know, a cute little rendition. So, let's go.
But I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before I knew. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed.
I'm so sweaty. That was so much fun. That was so much fun. I got some, honestly, some pretty cool drawings of some bison, some bears. I attempted to draw some horses and some moose, but those weren't as successful. But hey, you know, at least I tried. I got a leopard. I tried to draw a tree, a couple trees. The bison and the bears were definitely my favorite. And I want to go home and draw more bison and bears, but this was so much fun. Okay, editing Caitlin here. I ended up adding a lot more to these zoo sketches, so I figured I would go over them here. So this is that drawing of a moose. I drew a tree on my way out, and I drew a horse butt. And I just added some fun, like, hand lettering to go along with some of what I saw. Let's see. This was later. We went to get sushi and I just drew the car in front of the sushi place. Added some typography to my bears. I drew a bison that I found a picture of online when I got home. And then another bison and another bear, and then this is kind of where the zoo sketches ended, but yeah, that was where those landed, and then some other random stuff. So I'm currently on my way to the art store. I go to the art store every other day. Just to pick up a few things that I've kind of been noodling on getting. I brought my swatches with me, which is really exciting. I have never I'm driving now, so I've never done like a I guess comprehensive set of swatches for all my supplies. Like I've done, you know, like one-off, so like swatches for my watercolors or swatches for my colored pencils or something like that. And I've done them in sketchbooks before, but obviously it's like you finish a sketchbook, you're not carrying around an old sketchbook. So the fact that I have them in one little booklet is really nice now, like independent of anything else. So anyway, I'm excited because it'll keep me from buying any duplicates, and it's just nice to see the array of colors that I have. So I'm gonna go to the art store. I just went to Chick-fil-A for breakfast and Goodwill to drop off some gross tin bin things. I don't know. I have a picture of them, but they were just like really gross. I got them off Facebook Marketplace for my studio, and they did not end up working for the space. So I donated those to Goodwill, and now I'm going to the art store, and then I'm gonna go home and look at the books that I thrifted. So off to the art store. Okay, bag is secured. I might just head home. Maybe I should go. So it's 11:37. I'm just debating if I should go hit up one of my favorite thrift stores or okay. Ow. Back home from the art store. I didn't end up going to the thrift store because I'm trying to maintain some sort of self-control when it comes to my spending. I'm not that successful. And I forgot that I had laundry downstairs in the wash. But yeah, I came home. I'm gonna make myself some more coffee because this is no longer cold, and do my laundry, and then do a little haul of what I got from the art store. So to start, I actually went to Stillwater, which is just outside of the Twin Cities, for a little artist date the other day, and I got a couple things. The first one and most exciting thing being this. This is like a vintage tin. I like to collect these. I have another one here on my desk that is like a vintage like milk chocolate tin, but that one just holds like pencil leads, and like it's basically all graphite and a little bit of ink and some erasers and stuff, so that's nice. I just keep it up here on my desk. But this one I just thought was really gorgeous. I love the gold like text on it, and then this color combination is just really beautiful, and it's perfect. I've been keeping the brushes that I'm currently using for a project and a random colored pencil. So that's one thing. That I got is this absolutely gorgeous vintage cigar box. It's got this really cool type on it and this portrait of this man. I'm assuming, I don't know, I guess his name is Bolivar, I don't know. And the best part is that this is what I used to store my carving tools in for like lino cut work. I had these in school when I took a printmaking class, but this thing fits them perfectly. And I've been playing around with some air dry clay, and I was thinking about either taking some air dry clay or some foam to like make an insert so that they can fit perfectly. Let's see. I got some Faber-Castell Hit Artist pens. So these three, these like pinky ones I got the other day, and then these are the ones I got today at the art store. So I got Crimson, Coral, and Magenta the other day. Got a little swatch card. Coral and Magenta and Crimson of the Hit Artist pens. And then the other three colors that I ended up buying today are Cobalt Green, Dark Had Yellow, and May Green. So those are all of the Pitt pens that I got. Next up, I got some new Neo colors, a very fall palette. So I got two kind of like reddish orangish ones. I got a an alizarin crimson hue and a burnt sienna, like a beauty vlogger. I'll swatch those. So the first one is alizarin, and then the bottom one is burnt sienna. Love the like, I don't know, like deep, like almost like magenta-y tone of the burnt sienna. And then I got a lovely soft yellow color called Sahara Yellow. I got a soft gray that's called Beige, which is really beautiful. And then, let's see, two more. I got Sepia, just like a deep charcoal grayish brown, and silver gray because it's like a gorgeous light bluish gray. Next, I got some micron pens, which is really surprising for me because I personally am like not a huge micron girl, but yeah, I found these and I thought they were cool. First up, I got this micron brush pen, and this one is in sepia or brown, I forget, but it's a brush. Oops. So the nib is like super precise. Let's see, can you see that? Yeah, it's like a very tiny little faint nib, so it's nice, the like line variation that I can get. Really liked that. And then I already swatched them off camera, but I'll swatch them again. This is like a maroon color, and then I got a brown color, and then I got a blue color. I'm like continually searching for the perfect supplies to pull out when I am sketching, because I'm getting more into the habit of just regularly carrying a sketchbook with me. The funny thing is that I've actually found my favorite supply to take with me that I need to buy more of is just a Bic ballpoint clickable pen. And lastly, I got, for the grand finale, I got some acrylic wash. So I have quite a bit of acrylic wash already. I have the Rebecca Green set, and then I also have the set of 3 primaries and a bunch of random one-offs that I bought probably within like the past year, because I would say I picked up acrylic gouache relatively recently. So let's swatch these. I got pale lime specifically for a painting that I am doing, and I just felt like it would be really good for the background that I was envisioning. So that's pale lime, and then I also, at the same time that I bought that one, I bought this one, which is deep magenta, and then today I bought these two. So I bought navy blue, and then I also bought opera, because I feel like opera is one that, like, if you don't have it in your set, you really cannot create the colors that you would without it. There's my little ugly swatch card. But yeah, that's all of the art supplies that I got. And then, but I went to a used bookstore here in Minneapolis, and I spent way more time than I thought I would, and I got some really cool books. So I'll start off with this one because I think it's really cool, but it's a like French design book. Cool like artwork in here. I don't know, I just really was inspired by the kind of like quirky poster designs that were in here, and as someone who has big interest in hand lettering and typography, I just thought this was a lot of fun. There was one in particular, let's see if I can find it. Ooh, like, look at that. This wasn't the one in particular, but I just think this is like so cool. Like, I love the combination of, you know, imagery here. Oh, this is the one. I was like kind of obsessed with this one, honestly. I love the like dual color, the split color, how simple it is. These are like two of my favorite colors anyway, that like muted gray, blue, and green. It's my jam. But yeah, I just thought some of the artwork in here was so cool. I've been thinking a little bit about making art that is reminiscent of like propaganda posters, but kind of infusing my own messaging or, you know, some of my own beliefs into them, because what is a propaganda poster if not, you know, something that's trying to convince you of an idea? But there was another book there that was a book about propaganda posters that I decided I was going to get next time. But then the next one I got is this Art Deco graphic design French modern book. But I just like love the imagery in here. Oops, it's a bookmark. But yeah, like super cool, like poster design. Again, like I love the use of type with these cool, like very original images. This one is beautiful. Hopefully you can see without the glare. The type and the ornate patterns, even the use of gold, like is something that I was just like super drawn to. This was one of my favorite pages. I thought this was a really cool image. These are beautiful to me. And then this packaging is everything. I'm a sucker for packaging. That's that. And then I got this book, which was super cheap. I think I paid like $6 for it, but it's called Notan, the dark light principle of design. But I got this because I thought that it had some really interesting ideas about like pattern making and contrast. And that's something that I didn't know that, well, I knew that there's like the concept of, I think it's chiaroscuro is how you pronounce it, in painting, but I had never really heard anything about it in the sense of pattern making. But this is something that I am like super interested in as it relates to, you know, pattern design, or just like different motifs in my work. Like I just think that that contrast is really interesting. So I got this because I thought, you know, the cover was beautiful and there might be some interesting cues that I could take from this book that I got. I got two field guides, which you're probably like, what? The Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Mammals. So this book is super cool. Literally any mammal that exists on the continent of North America you can find in this book. Look at these little mice. It's so cool. It even has like a track guide in the front. I think this will be like really amazing just for idea generation when I'm like thinking of art that I want to make. And then this Big Mama, this was the best purchase. I think I paid like $18 for this. They have every tree, every insect, every flower, every fish, every bird, like that you could possibly, they have whales, like everything that you could imagine, like any animal or like, you know, nature thing that you could think of, it's in this book. As long as it's, you know, on the continent of North America. But yes. This year for Peachtober, I was debating whether or not I should do it, but I don't really have much else going on right now, so I'm like, maybe I should just do Peachtober. And I got this idea to do a bear and a bee because I was trying to draw a bee for prompt number 1, and I was like, I don't want to draw a bee, like that's boring. It just wasn't like, I tried to draw like a bunch of different images of bees and nothing was like really, it wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't hitting for me. I was bored, and so I was like, what about a bear and a bee? And so considering I just went to the zoo the other week, and I was drawing lots of bears, and the brown bears were some of my favorite animals that I saw, I was like, this might be interesting. And so I am still trying to figure out, you know, what it is, or I guess what my process is. And so this was like a fun exploration in figuring out, like, you know, how deep do I want to go into thumbnailing? What are the things that I need to do before I start a piece to really nail it down? And so I did this. did this, which was like a very messy color comp. What is this? These were some like, I don't know, buckets for like things that I could like decide beforehand. Just some random rough notes. I have the piece here that is coming along. One thing that's really getting me is how I want to render the fur. This is like my 2.5 attempt at rendering the bear. I'm not sure how I feel about where this piece is at right now. This was, oops, me. This is literally, this is the 2nd attempt at lettering. Underneath this, which you can sort of see, there was a 1st attempt, and this is, you know, this is a piece of cardstock that I cut out and then matched the background, and then was thinking about gluing it over, and I cut it out with some cute little craft scissors, but clearly very indecisive about this work of art. So I feel like these are the, you know, trial and error kind of like things. Like in order to, you know, figure out what I like and what I don't like, I have to make the mistakes of doing the things that I don't like to discover that I don't like them. So it's definitely an anxiety-inducing process because, you know, it requires the possibility of failure, you know, making art, which is not a comfortable feeling. But I'm reading The Artist's Way right now, and so I'm trying to push through that and just make art. Like, I did all that planning in my sketchbook that I just showed, and I was like, I guess I just have to start, because I was like really struggling with wrapping my brain around how much planning goes into a process before you start a thing. Like, I watch people like Apple Cheeks or Tiffany Tan who like does these really interesting like blobs of color, and she goes over them with ink, and her style is very flat and very playful. But then I watch people like Jess Karp who somehow build these like incredibly realistic, you know, images, and, you know, have a process that's like very meticulous, where she does her color comps and she takes it in digitally and all this stuff. And it's just so interesting seeing the way everyone works. And, you know, I think with that other piece last year, the dandelion, it was dandelion, and it was going to be a girl like in like a nature setting, like standing in front of a fence holding a dandelion, and it was going to be like almost like a light was emanating from it, and like her face was glowing. But I was like I don't know how to do complex lighting scenarios, and, you know, I'm gonna mess up the paper, and I'm gonna, you know, waste my paint and all this stuff. But it's like, how am I gonna ever make the art that I want to make if I can't freaking make art? With that other piece last year, the dandelion one, I had tried to work in that very meticulous way where I was like, okay, I'm gonna draw it and I'm gonna plan it, and then I'm gonna transfer it, you know, in graphite to my final paper, and then I'm gonna do my values. And it's like, that wasn't working for me. And so I basically have just realized that like there's no one way of working. There's no one way of working that I should be trying to emulate. I think, you know, I've also watched Rebecca Green. I'm part of her dessert club, and I love watching her process, but I noticed that she is very like scrappy with it. Like, she just like kind of like goes in with color and just like, I don't know, she just like plays on the paper, and this like beautiful image comes about. So I kind of tried working that way for this, where I just went in and like the background is literally just like, you know, texture. Like, I just mixed a couple colors of gouache and just went in. But yeah, I'm like kind of happy with it right now. Yeah, I'm figuring it out. So here's my little cow drawing that is half finished that I was kind of noodling on. I drew these two little black girls. One thing that I'm trying to work on is like how to render dark skin without losing the features. You know, obviously usually ink with black, but if I want to render dark skinned people, you know, obviously I want to do everything justice. And I want, you know, the dark skin of the characters and the people that I'm drawing to be one of the more notable, you know, I don't know, like more artful features of the piece. And so I just want to make sure, like, I feel like a lot of artists don't know how to like capture black people, and that's something that's important to me to figure out. So considering I'm, you know, still learning how to draw people in general, and I don't often do like full portraits or anything, I think that'll be something that will be interesting for me to kind of figure out. I did feel like I did it successfully in this piece that I did in February, which was like this was like the first and last finished painting that I ever did. I did this painting and then I got scared that I wouldn't be able to replicate it. I was like, oh, that has to be a one-off. So I didn't make any art again for like 6 months. I did this painting of Nina Simone. I watched a Dessert Club video from Rebecca Green, and she did this portrait. I don't know if it was a self-portrait or no, it was a portrait inspired by this female artist. I forget what her name was. But I was like, oh, I love that texture. So I took it and replicated it, and I did this painting of Nina Simone during Black History Month because I watched a documentary of her once, and it was beautiful but very sad. And I don't know, I loved the way this turned out, but I was really scared I wouldn't be able to replicate it again. So I didn't make any more art, but I do feel like this is one where I feel like I successfully was able to, you know, accentuate her dark skin. Like, I think the beautiful shadows with the blue and the dark brown or whatever he's used, I think those work really well.